and Justin got two extra cats, and we kept like accidentally letting a cat out, and so we'd go and chase it down, and then another cat would run out when we put one in, and we
You
were like,
you dream about Justin a lot.
I know. I
You think
think
he's
it's
mad?
'cause-
You think he's mad at you? You think there's cats? You think there's
I think I always dream that he's mad at me in some capacity because he was also mad about the cat situation, which is fair.
he got so he had two extra cats?
Yeah.
And one of them was probably named Leo, and the other was probably named Klee.
Sounds good. And then there was this guy trying to shoot us. I think it's because we were at Justin's house and then we were talking about Mr. Lewis.
Dude, fuck.
Yeah,
Mr.
talking
Lewis.
about
Probably.
Mr. Lewis.
He came up unfortunately.
Oh,
What was the scenario that we were?
I don't know.
It was hopefully someone shows up and like gets Buck while Mr. Lewis is there, because then the two problems will take care of themselves. But I don't remember who that person was.
Fredo and Mr. Lewis meet in a.
Ray was definitely getting shot.
I just want to like bait Fredo into doing something now when McDaniel's around, because I want to see him bring the pain.
Dude, it takes a lot for Mr. McDaniel not to like crash out. Like he's so respectful about it, but he's like, okay. He's like, you can fucking say whatever you want about me. He's like, I'm a big dude. I can fucking like if you have a comment, well, good on you for like having the courage, right?
Uh-huh.
At the same, but if it's like my family or my friends, like I will interject myself in that situation immediately.
Just like my friend James.
Oh yeah, I was upset that like I didn't catch the situation between like because I would have been okay. He definitely wouldn't have come back. I would have been like, okay, I know you're mad at your kid. I know you're mad at Doug. Doug offered to offer you a refund. Doug should not be raising your kid for you and teaching him not to lie.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, I guess you didn't. So at the last locals, for Lorcana,
We're not playing again.
yeah, we are. My deck's right here, so you can cut it. Fredo's son came up, like after he finished his round, and he's like, "Do y'all buy cards?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, I want to sell some cards." And I go, "Do you have your dad's permission?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "I don't want him to come up here and yell at me. Like, are you sure?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so like, I like, give him the 60% because he wants to get packs and stuff, and it's like cards he doesn't play with or whatever. And like, I make sure he's okay with everything, all the selections I'm making, all this stuff, right? He gets his packs. He gets like a little can of soda, and he's on his way. And I'm like, I'm just gonna set these cards aside just in case something happens, right? And so they're in a little stack, and the dad comes back and he's like, "What cards did he sell you?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I have the stack right here." And he like turns to the kid. He doesn't say anything to me at that point, but he turns to the kid. He's like, "You don't bring your binder up there." Blah 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 blah. And he's like berating him like real loud. And I'm like, "Ooh," and but he doesn't say anything to me directly. But then like I think he's like stewing, because later at the end of the night he goes to drop, and he's probably mad because he was losing too, right? But he goes to drop, and he's like, "I know you had a word with me the other day, because of like the language that me and my son use." Did you hear about that one,
Nuh-uh.
Justin?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. So previously, like that earlier Sunday, like his son walked in and he sees me and he goes, "Oh, you're here? No offense." And I'm
What?
like, "What?" Yeah. And then later, like his dad was like, the dad Fredo was trying to like strong arm me into like giving promos on Sundays, and I'm like, the promos are on Wednesdays. Like, it's working pretty well. And he goes like, oh, that's gay.
What?
And like, yeah. And so I'm like, later, like after people kind of like clear out, because I don't want to like talk in front of everyone. I always do this where like I wait for there to be kind of like a quiet moment to talk to people. And so like after the people kind of leave, I'm like, hey, like I just want to talk to y'all about like, like not using language that makes people feel unwelcome. Like, and I explained about how I told him about how his son said, oh, you're here, no offense. And I'm like, we want people to feel welcome. Like, and while it doesn't bother me, like, like let's just be mindful. And he's like, and then I said, and like, like you can't be saying like stuff's gay like as a bad thing, because it's like, again, like we want people who are like new to the community to feel like welcome, and that's not like welcoming language or whatever. And he was like all like looking at me like, really, dude? And I just stared back at him because it's like, yeah, really, dude. And so anyway, so flash back to then he's like, so I know you talked to me about using certain language, so if you kick me out after this, I'm okay with it, but I just need to tell you something. And I'm like, yeah, let's hear it. And he's like, in what fucking mind do you think it's okay to buy cards from a kid? Like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, in my mind, it's like, we've had kids walk in off the street and sell us cards and like use it. Like, like when I was a kid, my dad would give me like allowance and I would walk to the card shop like at the end of the neighborhood and buy and sell cards. Like, yeah, like in my mind, it's just kind of part of like the culture almost. And like I'm surrounded by like similar experiences. And then on top of that, like he's given his son his credit card to like buy him like drinks and stuff because he's too lazy to get up. And so it's like I knew that it didn't matter what I said because he was just like mad. Like there's no reason in like telling him all this shit because he's just gonna like he's like an emotional dude. He feels like victimized in some way. And so like I was like, look, like I'm sorry, like if that came out wrong, like maybe it was an indiscretion on my part, like I didn't mean anything by it, like I already gave you the cards back, like no issue, like if you're still upset, like here, I'll give you a refund. It was like $18 or something. And he stops because like he wants to say being mad. And when I told him I'd give him a refund like right away, he was just like, and I was like, so do you want the refund? And he's like, yeah. And so I give him the money, and like he still like is like kind of like mouthing off, and I'm like, all right, sorry about that. Like, I'm not gonna get tilted. Like, I'm not gonna give you the benefit of like making me feel bad because like in my day-to-day experience, like this shit just happens. Like if you don't want your kid to do shit like unsupervised, then don't leave your kid unsupervised. And so now it's like if he ever comes in, I'm just gonna be like, hey, don't leave your kid unsupervised. Hey, like, or if he sends his kid to buy shit, I'll be like, your dad has to come up here. Like, I'm just gonna be super difficult about it because like he's a fucking asshole. But yeah, so that's like the gist of it. And then I don't know how that related to. Oh yeah, and I guess like we were joking about how like if he goes in and crashes out when Mr. Fredo's there, it's like game over or something, or Mr. Lewis is there. But yeah, that's the story there. Oh yeah, and then he went in. The kid Marcus, he was at the smoke shop.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, some guy came in there and he was like all mad, like yelling about how he was going to kick someone's ass next door.
Oh
and
no.
He was saying, yeah, and he was saying that like he gave him like 3 packs for $70 worth of cards, and it's like it was like a $10 card, an $8 card, and some $3 cards. Like absolutely not $70 worth of cards.
There's also why I'm there's like a good and a bad thing that I wasn't up there because I'm like, man, you crash out and you can't do math.
Yeah, maybe this is why you're losing so many games because you don't know how to count to 20.
Dude, I try really hard to fucking like keep my shit to myself because like I think at the end of the day, he's not trying to be a bad dude, right?
He's
But
just needs to go to fucking therapy.
yes, absolutely. Therapy's crazy. It does crazy things for you.
Yeah, it stops you from calling your wife the mega bitch in front of like a crowd of strangers.
And your child.
Yeah, and your child.
Dude.
That was like one of my first impressions of him. He's like, oh yeah, he has to go over to the mega bitch's house this weekend, and I'm like, I fucking hate you, dude. Like,
Yep.
you're 30. Like, fucking grow up, dog. Like, he's like 34 or like 35. He's like not much older than me. Yeah, he looks rough.
That's what happens when you act like that. It ages you.
Yeah.
So what happens when you have a kid?
But yeah, and then James told Mr. McDaniel, like the tall Lorcana player, the one who used to be a football player,
Yeah.
and he was like, if that guy laid a, or what did he say?
Like, if that fat motherfucker wants to try to step up on Doug, like the situation kind of came down like this, because Michelle, the wife, she's like, how can you have an issue with Doug? Like Doug's so sweet. Like, if I think something's gonna happen, it's like protect Doug, right? It's like, oh yeah, because if old boy started fucking like saying he was gonna kick his ass or something, I promise he'd shut the fuck up real quick once I get the fuck up there. And I was like, so he goes, because when it's my, he's like, you can say because he mentioned it like a couple of times. He's had to be confrontational. You can say shit about me, like whatever, good on you, I guess, right? But like, it's my friends or my family or like someone who just straight up doesn't deserve it. All right, let's shut this down real quick. So, and it's crazy is like I've heard it from different people, right? Their interpretation of the situation, what they witnessed, right?
Yeah.
Because I was playing my round too, and this is all I heard in the background. I didn't realize it was gonna cost us like fucking $30 today. I thought it was only gonna cost us like 10. Right? Like I heard
Mhm.
shit like that. I'm like, okay, what's he fucking tripping out about? Right? Like it's the same shit every time.
Literally,
So
he
so
doesn't know how to do math. Like that's really what it boils down to in my mind.
yes, he doesn't know how to do math. So I'm like, okay, he's salty about some shit, right? Like, so we're playing. I'm getting cooked, and then apparently, Ian's round two was Michelle McDaniel,
Oh, this is
and
new information.
this is funny to me because he's like mouthing off to the kid like normal, which is not normal, and that's the other reason why McDaniel's like, dude, that man fucking pisses me off because you don't fucking belittle your kid in front of everyone. You address that shit in private.
Yeah, that
Like,
was the last part of the story when he was next door venting to the smoke shop owner. He made the kid cry.
yeah, don't get me wrong, fuck that kid, but
Yeah, fuck that
He
kid.
can only do so well when he has a dad like
yeah,
that.
that's the caveat. That's what I'm saying here, right? Like, I'm not a fan of the kid, but I mean, against all odds,
Despite it all.
despite it all, hope finds a way. But um, so he's already like bothered by that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Michelle teases Ian, like, "Oh, Ian, you're in trouble, right?" She doesn't know the full situation. She just knows that he probably did something not great,
Mm-hmm.
and then he starts crashing out harder, and she's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said anything," because like Ian even looked like kind of embarrassed, like,
We're
he's like,
good.
"Yeah, I really did fuck up," and then like Josh had said this, like Mr. McDaniel, he was like, "Look, I'm a teacher. Kids are stupid. Like, they just do things. He's like, they're smart, but they're stupid. Like, everyone's like stupid to some extent. He's like, the only reason adults have it together more in theory is because we have more reps. We have
Yeah.
more reps in life. That's it. He's like, so your kid's gonna do something. He's like, how many times has my kid done something absolutely fucking stupid? It's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
But I would never, not in a crowd full of fucking people. One, it's embarrassing for me, and two, it's really embarrassing for the kid, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like, so I have some opinions. Michelle was like, well, I mean, that's his kid, so I guess my thing is like, well, I mean, I can't tell him how to parent, right? So they had like a not like a debate, but they're like, there's back and forth when it comes to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, it was like, okay, like that guy is just miserable.
He really is.
Is what it comes down to. And like Sal had said something. He's like, "Look, I try to give like Freddie benefit of the doubt because the stuff he's going through." I'm like, "All right, Sal, I'm gonna tell you this. We all go through shit." He's like, "No, no, no, I get it. We can only do." I'm like, "No, no, no, I got you, right? But I would not start acting like that in public. Like, I just refuse. I don't know if it's because I just have like maybe I'm a little more centered, right? Maybe I'm just like I don't know, like I just don't want to make things worse than they already are, right? Like I
Yeah.
have my moments, but that is crazy. I don't know if I could ever cross that line because like I'm a I'm big in embarrassment and secondhand embarrassment. If I do something fucking stupid like that, I don't want to show back up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very brave of him because he did, and it's so fucking easy to read too. Stevie does the same thing when he fucks up, right? They message me. They're like, oh yeah, can you believe my kid wants me to make him hyper aggro? Oh, and I'm like, I literally read that message and left him on red.
That's what
I'm
Fredo
like,
said.
yeah, like he messaged me like on Facebook, and I was like,
Stupid.
I don't care.
He's like trying to
Like,
vibe check you to see if y'all are still cool or something. That's what
no,
it sounds
that or
like.
he's just trying to be like, hey, I'm not a bad guy, you know.
And he
I was like,
does
yeah,
so
I'm
by
fine.
bitching more about his son. How relatable, how
He what?
personable of him. I said,
Oh
and he
yeah.
does so by bitching more about his son, like how personable and
And
relatable.
I'm just like, dude, like I just don't care. Like,
He's just like everybody else.
I'm like, everyone, like, a part of me wants to stop going to Sentinel because I know that's gonna be there, but at the same time, like, well, Robin gets to like just play like in a stress-free environment for the most part,
So long as he doesn't act up too much.
and I'm gonna be like, and honestly, if they ask me to play him or his kid, I'm gonna be like, are y'all cool? Because I don't know anyone else. Like, I was like, because I want to have a good time, right? Like,
Yeah, that's literally why people show up, and then he comes and bitches about not like improving or like trying to make it seem like it's someone else's fault that he sucks.
because a part of me also wants to be like, do you just want to give me free points? Like, because here's the thing: if you're gonna make me out to be better than I am, right? Because he's like, oh, this guy fucking coming in. Like, didn't you just already win last week? I'm like, uh,
That's the
look,
point.
like, card games are crazy because like you a lot of it does come down to luck, right? That's where like consistency is like insane. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of games I feel like I should just lose, but my opponent fucks up. Sam's a very good player. He definitely fucked up that night twice.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, you bounced this me, but then you inked it. I would have just played that bitch again, right? Stuff like that, just small stuff. But I'm like, stuff I wouldn't expect someone who people are like roll their eyes at when they walk in, you know?
Yeah.
So either way, like you
Take the
can't take
pill.
away like you can't try to make me feel bad about doing well.
Who took the pig?
Did you attack this?
No,
Okay, so it got switched. Sorry, go ahead.
the
But
pig.
people like that are just and the thing is it's still not nearly as bad as Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then like think about it. Most people show up to come play Lorcana and it's generally a good time. There's a couple outliers, right? But they're not nearly as bad as other card games. But like even Daryl, when I had to play against him during the sealed event, like yeah, I had to be like, hey, I need you to play cleaner because not only are you taking forever on your turns, you're still doing stuff wrong. Like that trigger happens before you even draw a card.
Yeah.
So then I'm just gonna blah blah blah, and I'm like, honestly, dude. He's like, you missed. I'm like, you missed it. It's sealed, so I guess I can't. But like, you gotta understand where I'm coming from. You're taking forever on your turns, and you still didn't read the cards.
Mm-hmm.
What are you
True.
doing? Well, I'm just tired and stuff. I'm like, I get that, but like, you made the choice, and like, people paid for prizing, right, for a chance. Like,
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing is he's so ready to like he was sweating Shay about fixing his results when there was like 5 minutes left in the round, and he's like, "Well, you're gonna do it." And it's like we were both. She was helping me price cards, and I was like, "There's 5 minutes left in the round, so we'll do it when we're done with this." Like, he's always sweating people about the fucking score, and it's like, how about you just sweat about doing better?
Yeah.
What did you bounce?
I haven't bounced yet. I'm choosing.
Okay.
I'm about to. So, but I was happy that he was like, "Hey, man, thank you for your patience." Like, I'm like, "No, I get it. I understand what you're doing is not intentional, but at the same time, you have to be considerate that other people are playing. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you don't want me to crash out on you, right? Like I did last time, you have to like, you know."
Yeah.
I was like, should I be that way? No, probably not. But think about how much leniency people want to give you in general. Is what I told him. You
Mm-hmm.
have a bad attitude. You come in, you fucking slow play everyone, right? Whether you
Ugly.
mean to or not. Let me clarify that because I don't know if you mean to, right? And you wonder why people roll their eyes and they're like, "Wow," because it's not because you're good. It really is because you have a shitty attitude. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't have the best attitude either, clearly, right? But he's like, no, I like, I didn't. It's not like we had a heart to heart, but we were able to like talk regularly. And he's just like, yeah, he's like, I'm trying to get better, man. I really am. It's just I want to improve and do so much better, but like I definitely spread myself too thin, and I don't know. I'm hoping with more repetition or something. Like I don't do this, you know. And I was like, holy fuck, we broke due to him.
You pass.
No.
He fucking, I'm like, god damn, he did it. So
And that's like one thing that I really appreciate about you, James, is like you'll be like pissed. You'll be like ready to like, yeah, thank you, get mad at someone basically, but like you're also willing to like let them grow and not just like antagonize them for the sake of like doing so.
no, trust me, I want to, but but I mean, it's healthier overall. Like, okay, today this is the first time me and Matt Garza had played since he like started cussing at me
Uh-huh.
at fucking like at Heroes Hideout. He's like you just wow, like you have all of these insane cards, and I'm like, dude, it's Pack Rush. Like
Yeah.
my
Don't
deck is
overthink
not
it.
good. Like I'm like it really isn't, and that's okay because it's Pack Rush. If it's draft, I get it, right? But even then, it's still we opened cards and we have to play with them. Like you know that. You love drafting. You love sealed, right? Like you
Yeah.
do like magic drafts. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah. So he was kind of chill and then he lost again and he just like left. Like, but at least this time he didn't
Listen.
go like, wow, dude. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But raising his voice? Because I told him, don't fucking raise your voice at me. Like you're gonna have a bad time if you raise your voice at me.
Yeah.
Don't raise your voice at me for a card game. Look, I'm a broken child, all right? Like, fucking old white men used to fucking, like, you know, slurs at me when I was playing Magic. Threatening to go take this in the parking lot, right? Like, that's why I'm so
Yeah.
jaded with card game players. I'm like, you know
You
what?
have like the public school upbringing.
Pretty much. Like, the fuck? So, that's why I'm not afraid to be like, hey, stop.
Like, what do you want?
That's why I try to look out for people too, because generally the community's like nice. They're like strong, right? Like
Yeah,
I've
like
seen
literally it's
people.
just those two bad apples in my opinion. And like Matt's like he's on thin ice, but I think he's not like the other guys where it feels like they're kind of a lost cause.
Yeah, the actual bad apple was Greg.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He's
speaking
so
of that,
fat now.
huh?
He's so fat now.
He is a lot bigger than the last time I saw him.
Yeah, there's that picture that Desiree posted. and he's all like washed up looking with like stubble and like.
I'm like, bro, he kind of thick though. That's that. What is he, Puerto Rican,
Basically,
Dominican?
those thighs. Oh my god!
Goddamn. How do you say that's some crazy chicken thighs in Spanish?
Como se dice? Goddamn.
Walk in there.
Como se dice? Alien.
You getting thick, my boy. I did notice that too. I was like, huh.
I mean, which is fine. Like,
Yeah.
it just
No, it's not.
when someone's a villain, it's easy to like use that against them.
I'm not even trying to use it against them. It's literally an observation. Like,
No, I am.
oh god.
Like being a fat person, this is a slur I can use.
Damn. We love slurs.
Come on, Yuna.
He I don't know if we got to tell Justin, but so Multiverse is finally doing not their league anymore. They're doing just like regular tournaments, like how Shen's does it in the first place or whatever. They haven't fired an event yet. They didn't fire an event today.
Yeah, Doug saw on Melee.
Oh, because yeah, he sent it to me.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's what. Are they mad at Desiree, Javi, and Andy?
I don't know.
Ooh.
'Cause to be
Are they
honest,
still
I haven't
friends
even
on
like
Facebook?
I haven't talked to Desiree.
You want to pick this with you?
you have your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's continue the conversation on the road.
Where y'all going?
I'm walking the dogs.
What the fuck? The dogs. They don't need to be walked. They need to be pet. You better pet them dogs.
They both.
Pet them. They're cute. Well, one of them's cute.
What the fuck?
Starting to rebel.
But yeah, I wonder if they stopped like drinking the multi Kool-Aid. And they're like, wait a minute. Everyone that Des keeps antagonizing isn't so bad.
And the one person Desiree defends to death is like bad for the community. Because I can't
I
imagine.
realize that
Meow.
Hello?
yo.
Hi, Justin.
Huh?
This is an intervention, Justin.
Oh yeah. What's the intervention?
You gotta stop. You gotta stop saying play Lorcana and only play once. I'm just kidding. I know you're work and shit. I'm just giving you a hard time because I miss you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Aww. We love Justin.
I want Justin to have fun with Disney because let's be honest, we're not playing the League of Legends card game.
You're not? That game seems cool.
No.
He's just staring at like 3 5Ks full of bulk.
Dude,
Fuck.
League of Legends card game seems crazy.
Apparently, there's a what's it called, a Pixelborn for it. The same guy who developed Pixelborn the first time before it got shut down, he made one. Or is making one.
Is there like a laning type thing?
Oh, that sounds cool.
Kind of like a Marvel Snap.
I actually don't know, but I would not be surprised.
That's how I would be interested if there was like lanes in a jungle or something, and that played into.
I'm gonna go deliver some cards real quick. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Got it.
I deliver some cards. Some smooches.
Dang it! I forgot to bring the doggy bags. If anyone's watching me, I'm coming back. All right, let's get the doggy bags.
What?
I forgot to get the doggy bags, so I'm grabbing some now.
I'll take them to you.
No, it's fine. Because how are they gonna like? They're gonna like float down. I'm just gonna go.
Meat's on the menu, boys.
What?
Anyways,
Is that Jamesy Poo?
I'm back.
It
I'm
is
back.
Jamesy.
I'm back. And I'm here to say a slur. S-L-U-R. Say a slur. Who you are.
Damn, James.
what?
All the extra slurs.
Well, I mean, if everyone else can say them, can I say them?
No.
No. Yeah,
Grounded.
all I know is there's a couple of slurs I probably could say where people are like, "Oh, he probably is one, so he could probably say it."
Grounded.
Flounder.
Grounded.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So. Oh, Weenie Girl showed up today. I don't know if I ever told you about Weenie Girl, Justin.
Mm-mm.
Once upon a time, when I was a wee lad playing Disney Lorcana, I went to the fabled multiverse games for their Winnabox. I did so because I knew a bunch of people were at DLC Vegas. And honestly, I've been on a tear with my new blue red deck, right?
Yeah.
I show up, it's round one. I go 1-1. I draw with Sal, right? After I just, usually just beat his ass, right? So then I play round two, and there's a girl who goes by Goblin, and she talked like this. I was already cringing. Anyways, so she would do things like ready,
Oh, that
set,
girl. Taylor
cry.
knows her. He went to school with
Yes,
her.
yes.
Famous.
What's her name again?
Well,
Starts with a K?
Katie.
Huh?
Katie.
Yeah, her.
She played today, and
It was crazy.
it was crazy. You know what Robin told me? She goes, "I'm sorry if I was rude to your friend. Like, I didn't like dislike her, but she sounded like an IRL Tumblr person,
Yeah.
and I know that because I still go on Tumblr sometimes.
I,
It's like, so
I still lost myself on my Tumblr.
who'd we lose?
Oh,
Dugwina.
Fuck.
Hey.
but she's here.
I was echoing, so.
Yeah.
You're echoing? Crazy.
She's like so like regressive DDLG pick me coded.
It's actually wild. You know, Mr. McDaniel, I could tell he was judging a little bit. He goes, "How do you know each other?"
Mr. McDaniel was judging a little bit, and he goes, "How do y'all know each other?"
And I was like, I almost wanted to be like, "Look, I know I just like we just became like really, really cool. I promise I did not stick my dick in that girl. If that's what you're like."
Oh my god.
You wouldn't think so the way she was acting, because like in front of everyone, she was like James, 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 and then like James was like making sure that like Sal wasn't coaching Andy, and so he was like, or Javi wasn't coaching Andy, and so he was ignoring her, and Shay was like, "Oh, can you change the AC? It's kind of hot." And he goes, "Okay, yeah." And then she looked over at the girl, and the girl, Katie, was like glaring at Shay.
Was she
Glaring
really?
at her, I was like, I'm not even James' girlfriend. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not the one you should be staring at right now.
she's
What?
doing like she's like planning like a whole like Scott Pilgrim esque like fight to the top
Oh, what the fuck?
for the
I'm
current
sorry about
girlfriends.
that. Because I actually
Listen,
believe that a little bit.
she was so pick me coded today, like
Listen, I'm tier 2.
Let's go get lunch.
unapologetically,
She was like, she's
unapologetically.
like, let's go get lunch. And I was
And
like,
then whenever Stevie showed you the minifig, she just like grabs it like a toddler, just fists it.
I wish I saw that. I didn't even get to see the minifig. James is like, Gatekeeping.
Oh yes.
I'll bring it tomorrow.
He's gatekeeping it.
What are y'all doing tomorrow?
Cleaning, and then Alicia has a St. Patrick's party.
Oh damn it!
Man,
Don't
But
make me. I'll go. I'll go to shenanigans and try to earn my bounty back.
hell
yippee!
yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna be cleaning at the shop, so I'll probably see you. Like I'll try to line it up with the event so I can assist with it.
No, because you're gonna be late. And she's such a sweet lady.
Who? Your
Alicia?
girlfriend? Oh, Alicia. We're things tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm telling on Justin. He forgot.
No, we
Are
just
you
can't
going
go.
to Justin?
No, Rochelle gets back like she's like driving from
Oh,
Laredo,
okay.
and I know she's gonna be tired. I'll like mention it to her.
Okay.
Remember when Justin?
I don't hear the end of it, but yes, I do remember.
All I said was, remember when Justin? I said, never mind. Like as a joke.
I remember.
Oh, what was it? So, what was I getting at? Oh yeah, it's very like. And here's the thing: I don't think Katie knows that like I'm not really cool with like Andy and Javi. But to be fair, they didn't seem nearly as like weird today as they have been.
I think they're trying to like unburn the bridge because they've been showing up like, and maybe it's just because it's the release events and it's hard to find product, right? But
Mm.
even like two locals, I think they went to two locals in a row, and like I was like, hey, like I'm sorry that it's taking a while, um, like just so you know, like I did the raffles and y'all didn't get any, but it was when Javi topped, and they're like, oh no, we're waiting so that you can take a picture because you wanted to take a picture, right? And I was like, man, thanks guys, like. The other day they just like the first time they came they just salted off and it's like, you know what I mean?
I think somewhere in the back of their skull, they just have to accept that I'm not the fucking like new kid anymore.
And also just like not the op, like
No,
Yeah.
James is the up.
like why the fuck, like Shay was talking it so much about she wishes she could have like been present when they decided to unfriend you on Facebook.
Just being like a little fly on the wall, like.
She said she wanted to ask Andy that today when they paired.
But I was like, I'm not doing this right now. Just
If
like,
y'all do, make sure to mention this. Why did y'all unfriend James when he was talking about his grandpa being in the hospital and then he passed later that day?
yeah. I'm like, did you know James' grandpa passed? Anyway, that same day you unfriended James. Can you tell me more about that? It's your turn, by the way.
It's your turn, by the way.
What was even like crazier was like her and Stevie paired, and her and Stevie used to have like a thing. And like, I'm surprised Javi wasn't just like,
Hovering.
yeah. She is different when he's not hovering her or literally in her vicinity.
Yeah. She like
Like,
she started talking like Katie when he was around. She's like, look, puppy. And I was like, oh my god. Should I be here right now?
Yeah, Taylor was like, "Oh, I know her. I went to high school with her. She dated my ex's that the predator, her brother, and she cheated on him."
Rip.
Wait, who?
The
Taylor's suspicious ex, the predator. She dated the brother and cheated on him.
The brother.
oh,
Okay.
that girl is like,
No, Taylor's ex.
I
And
don't
he dated
even, I
ex's
don't
brother.
even think Katie even like, I'm, okay. Katie's like, don't worry about it, I'm gay. And I'm like, okay, you said that, but low key, my understanding is your quote unquote wife, like, and this doesn't sound wrong, so please don't take it the wrong way, may or may not have a penis.
Damn it.
No, because I literally do not know, because Desiree made a comment which was fucked up. Like, we were hanging out at Multi,
And back to Holland.
and
Like,
like
they drawn yet.
like Katie was trying to do something like some physical task. And Desiree was like, well, treat it like a dick. Like, you kind of remember what that feels like, right?
I fucking hate this woman.
And I was like, I don't know what she means by that, but if she just outed her, that's kind of fucked up. No, that is fucked up. Not even kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Because a part of me is like, well, was like, let's say this, right?
Oh, motherfucker back.
Katie's partner, let's say they identified as a male at some point, right? And now they don't, right? I'm sure Katie was like, I'm fucking down for whatever, right? But it is kind of weird to put someone's business out like that indirectly. Like, that's definitely intrusive thoughts when kind of coded, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
like I don't know if that really reveals anything about Katie and her partner, but it does reveal something about Desiree. It's that she could really benefit from shutting the fuck up sometimes.
yeah. And like, Katie just, like, didn't even acknowledge it, which makes me think, like, like maybe she was trying to play it off.
Yeah.
Because also, there's times where Katie's just not cringe, and we've talked. And she's
Hmm.
like, "Oh, like, so what do you think about like Steel Song?" Like earlier today, Robin showed me a ruling for some of the like Steel Song cards, and I was like, "Okay, I want to research this a little bit more because like I want to make sure that if it comes up and someone asks me for a ruling or someone wants to challenge it, I can appeal it and have the comprehensive rules ready." I do that for like Magic, right? If a
Hmm.
card's just kind of wonky, I'm gonna pull up the rules, like on a screenshot, right?
Yeah.
So, um, because the way that the card reads, it should not work that way, but there's something about how ready and set works, right?
Hmm.
Anyways, so Robin showed it to me, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, like maybe Katie would want to know that too because she's kind of building the same deck. We got her some bolts, right?" So I messaged Katie and I was like, "Hey," and she's like, "Can you explain it to me like I'm 5?" And I'm like, "Well, I still need to research it, but for your info, right?" And
Hmm.
then she's like, "Thank God that Robin's a Steel Song player." And a part of me was like, "Oh yeah, the only other Steel Song player is Desiree."